Hello, everyone. Greetings for the day. Welcome to Train Brain, and this is Divya here. So, we're going to start with our math module in Montessori. So, we have learned about Montessori's principles and the effectiveness about using Montessori in our classrooms. In today's exercise, we're going to see some of the materials that we're going to be using it in our classes. The entire math conceptual will be divided into multiple parts. The first part is where we work on numbers from 1 to 10. This section is called numeration through 1 to 10, and the first material that we're going to be using in the math area is number rods. Now, what are number rods and why is it helpful? See, number rods will help our children to learn the names of our numbers. As in, when the child is learning the names of the numbers, they also learn about the sequence like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So this is the sequence of it. So they got to get the sequence right. So what happens is like, sometimes with the younger children, if you see, they have the inability to say the numbers in sequence. And they say, for example, even if I give them 5 toffees, and if I ask them to count, they will be like 1, 5, 7, 8, 10. I have seen in my experience most of the children do that way. So, sequencing the numbers is very essential, and we use this material in our classes to associate between the number and the sequencing of all of it. Okay, so however you speak, the same way that you will be able to give the quantity. So, let's quickly describe the material itself. So, the material is called as number rods, which is very much similar to our red rods, which we use it in our sensorial classes. Okay, so there is a typing error there. So it is a 10 rods, which is identical to red rods in length. But if you see, one difference is from the red rods to our number rods, you see the sections here. So in our math material of our number rods, we have red and blue sections. Now the smallest or the first rod is always red, and the second one is twice as the first size, right? So this is how you have to be working with the material itself, and this is the material that we're going to be working. Now, okay, I have red rods, but how do I introduce this number rods to my child? Or how do I introduce this? So what we need to be working over here is like, before you introduce this, the directress would lay a mat and she would introduce the child saying that today we are going to be working on number rods. Okay, and you will not be carrying all the rods together. Probably like you will introduce 1, 2, and 3 rods initially. You carry the rods. Sorry for the technical issue. Okay, so you carry the rods, that is 1, 2, and 3, these wooden rods, and you will gently place it onto the mat one at a time. So you can use your index finger and the third finger to support the edges of the rod, and you can actually place them. Once you have placed them randomly, you will sit next to the child and you will isolate the rods in front of you and you start giving a 3-period lesson to the child. So how do we do 3-period lesson? You touch on one of the rod and you say, let's count it. Okay. So 1. And then you touch on the second rod. You say 1, 2. You touch on the third rod. 1, 2, 3. This is how you would repeat to the other rods also. Now, what did we work over here is like by introducing only a first period lesson. Now you can ask a child, can you show me where is number 2? The child can show you. In the 3-period lesson, you can ask the child, can you tell me what number is this? If the child has learnt it the right way, the child will give you the number saying this is number 3, this is number 2, this is number 1, right? So the presentations can have multiple stages. The first thing is like, you can pick up the rods randomly. You'll be putting it onto the mats, and then the teacher or the directors, they can sit between the mats, and you have to make sure that the child is sitting vertically in front of you. Okay, so that the shortest rod is always towards the child. And if a teacher or a Montessorian or a director is asking you for a specific number rod, the child will have to choose it. If the child has a confusion about the number, they can count it and they can place it onto an empty mat. So this is your first step of exercise. It's called identification of a rod. The second stage or the next stage is called random identification of quantity. See, randomly you have placed all the rods, right? Now, in this particular thing, that if the teacher asks, can you pick me number 5? the child will have to be able to pick the rod number 5 and they should be able to position it. And slowly, what happens that randomness will go and then the child will be able to sort it out so easily that it is all visually appealing. Now, why do we do such an exercise? Is because we want the child to experience the quantity of each number, and we also want them to learn the respective names. Now, every time that we do that, the child is also memorizing the sequence of numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so this is the today's exercise. That's the first Montessori material that we use it in a math class. Follow us on our YouTube channel to find out more lessons on Montessori exercises. If you'd like to join our full-fledged diploma course, we offer both online and offline courses. You can call us on the following mentioned details on the screen. So thank you very much. Have a great day.